my mamma. Sy was die mens wat my groot gemaak het en wat my gemaak het wie ek is. Daar was nie 'n dag wat ek nie in haar gedagtes en wat Sandra nie in haar gedagtes was. In die jare wat ek 'n jong mens was, 'n kind was, het sy my letterlik by die hand geneem en gelei. Sy het my gevorm. Sy is die mens wat vir my gesê het, Karel, ek dink jy talent om te gaan praat, om deel te neem aan debatte. Ek dink jy talent om te skryf. Ek gaan seker maak dat jy die regte opleiding kry. En my mamma het myle en myle ver gery om my na die regte plekke te bring, dat ek kon leer hoe om te praat, hoe om te skryf, hoe om myself te kon uitdra. En natuurlik, dit wat sy my geleer het later in die lewe vir haar moeilik geword. Want soos my ma, is ek 'n mens met my eie menings en my eie opinies. My ma het my geleer, jy dink vir jouself. Ja, jy luister na ander, maar aan die einde van die dag, dink jy vir jouself. Is dit nie besonder dat ek 'n ma het wat nadat ek en Jansie geskei is, sy vir my gesê het, kyk, ek verstaan dat julle geskei is, maar ek is lief vir Jansie. Jansie is my kind, Jansie het my 'n klein kind gegee. Maar verder is dit nie besonder, dat oor die jare sy altyd vir my kom vra het. She always came to ask, Carl, what is happening in your personal life? Are you okay? You know, I will recall those early Sunday morning calls. 7 o'clock in the morning, I knew the phone was going to ring. And this mama, how are you? How are you doing? What is happening in your life? Tell me. And I must tell you, I sometimes dreaded some of those calls. Because as Jansie quite correctly says, Mama was a person who could state her case. And she could tell you when she thinks that you were wrong. And she would sit in front of the television and she would watch what I'm saying. And then Sunday morning comes and I will get a call. And she will say to me, jy weet jou pa het altyd gesê, kan jy nie maar net stil bly nie? That was the introductory sentence. And then the rest of the discussion would follow. And Mama is fiery. And I'm fiery. And I can tell you that sometimes the hair was flying. Die hare het gewaai. Ons het baklei. And it's sad for me today that there were times that I didn't see my way open for periods to go and visit my mom. I wish I had handled those differences between us differently. I wish I was able to rise above them. But I also recall so well how she asked me about my personal life. And when I told her that I've met this beautiful woman, Nolly, she had one question that she asked. Is jy lief vir haar? I said, yes. She said to me, is she good for you? Ek sê, baie, mama. I sê, doen wat jou hart vir jou sê. Do what your heart tells you. So Nolly and I got married. Mama wasn't at the wedding. You know, things can sometimes be a bit uncomfortable. I regret that she wasn't there. But as I'm standing here today, I wish my mum had gotten to know Noluthando and our little son Mpangazitha better. I wish she could have gotten to know the love, the care, the beauty. I was telling 2 days ago to Mpangazitha that Granny has died, and we spoke about it. And he looked at me. He said, you know, that is so sad. It is too sad for a little boy. But he felt it. We shared. And I wish Mama could have met and properly gotten to know my wife Noluthando. Because the reason I'm standing still here today is because of her. In 2021, I became desperately ill with COVID-19. I was on the verge of dying. I see Comrade MacDonald is shaking his head. He knows what was happening then. He shared that experience as one of the people and comrades who worked with me. And my wife Nolly, who sits here, nursed me. She carried me. She cared. She left her little son at home with the family in Soweto, and she made sure I'm okay. The other day I came upon a note that she wrote me when I was in hospital at Mole Park in ICU. And it was just after the doctor said to me, I think I must call your family. You know, I think it's close to the end. And Nolly brought some clothes and some things for me. And she also brought my cell phone. She even wrote in the note, I made sure it's charged because I know you need to use this phone. But in that note was all the love. And in a way, I saw in that note also what I saw in my mum. Because I've seen my mum during the very difficult years when my dad was desperately ill. She literally broke herself to take care of my dad. She helped him when he could hardly walk. When he said, I don't want to go to hospital, I want to stay in my home. My mum, while she was herself not well and not strong, said, no, I'm going to take care of my husband. So I saw that same love. And I so wish, it's one of the big losses in my life that Mama could really have gotten to know Nolly and gotten to know the person she is. Life has not been easy. It's not easy for a parent to see your child going to prison. And I see Advocate Mpofu and Advocate Mpofu, I'm so grateful that you're here today. Because there's a special bond which I think I must talk about. Advocate Mpofu was a junior working for the attorneys. He was still busy with his training. Working for the attorneys, Kathy Satchwell, who was my attorney. And we were in court, and we were going through all the difficulties of court and all of that. And I know part of the reason why Dali is here today is because he knows when he sat there at that bench in front and he looked back into the public gallery in the front row, he saw this woman and my dad. They were not there because they agreed with what I stood for. No, they firmly, strongly, sometimes very, very harshly disagreed with me. But they were there because I was their child. And something I've not often spoken about, in all the difficulties that there was, and there was a lot of difficulties in our relationship, was at some point during the trial, we were hitting a snag with finances. And the lawyers were saying, well, we don't think we may be able to go on. We may have to withdraw. And I still remember that morning, Kathy Satchwell came into my cell, in the holding cells at the bottom of the Johannesburg South High Court. And Kathy is a strong person. Kathy doesn't take nonsense. But she walked in there and she had tears in her eyes. I said, no, Kathy, what's going on? She said, your dad has just come to me and said, can he go and sell his house or find a way of getting a second bond to pay for your legal costs? Now, my dad firmly disagreed with me, but he wanted me to have proper legal representation, and he loved me. So, I'm very aware that my family suffered severely, terribly, because of my political persuasions. I know that my mum and dad were ostracized by many people in the Afrikaans community. Hulle het hulle rug op hulle gedraai. Hulle het gemaak asof hulle vir hulle skaam moet wees. Ek weet ook my suster, Sandra, hoe sy behandel is. Wat met haar gebeur het by die Randse Afrikaanse Universiteit toe sy gaan studeer het. Hoe sy aangespreek is as die suster van die communis. Now, I'm not apologizing for my views. I hold them dearly and strongly and fully and with full commitment. But I'm sad that they had to suffer for them. And I'm sad and a little bit angry with those people who have done what they've done to my mum and dad and to my sister. They were wrong. Why would they take out their dislike for me against them? Why would they hurt this woman who only stood for love and care? Why would they hurt them to the point where my mum often said, ek wil wegkruip, I must hide. I'm scared of what is going to be said against me and about me because of you. I so sincerely hope and pray that Mama will now have peace. That the hurt that she had suffered and that my dad had suffered has finally come to an end. Maar ek vra vir almal van julle wat vandag hier sit, asseblief. Soek julle eie harte. Moenie as julle nie hou van wat ek dink of sê of doen, dit uithaal op my sus, op haar familie, op haar kinders, op my vrou, op my kinders. Moet dit nie uithaal op Helen, moet dit nie uithaal op enige van hulle. Soek in julle eie harte, moet dit nie doen. Gee vir hulle vrede, gee vir hulle vryheid, gee vir hulle respek. That woman, I'm going to cut now. I see Theo tells me I must cut short. But sometimes some things has to be said. That woman, my sister, she dedicated her life and her love to my mum and dad. I've not seen a more committed child to parents. And during the last 7 years after Papa died, Sandra was the one who carried my mum. As the Bible says, there come a time when a parent has carried a child. And there comes a time when a child has to take care of a parent. And that is what Sandra had done. En as daar een held of heldin, moet mens sê, in hierdie vertrek vandag sit, is dit my sus Sandra. Sy het aan my ma liefde gegee. Sy was by my ma die tye wat ek nie daar was of kon wees. Sy het haar gedra. En Sandra, ek sê vir jou uit die diepte van my hart, baie, baie dankie vir wat jy gedoen het, vir die liefde wat jy gegee het, vir die liefde wat jy aanhou gee, en vir die voorbeeld wat jy vir ons almal is. I want to conclude. I want to thank each one of you, elkeen van u, vriende en familie, wat vandag hier by mekaar gekom het, om julle finale vaarwel vir Mama Maxie te gee. Julle het hier gekom uit liefde, want liefde was wat Mama altyd verpersoonlik het. I also thank my friends and my comrades who are here. They came here also out of love. They came here because they may not have known my mum personally, but they know my life history. And there's a bond of love and of comradeship between me and them. I thank them because they're not here to make a political statement. Not at all. They're here to make a statement of love, of humanity, of Ubuntu. So those of you who travelled from afar, who came from KwaZulu-Natal and all over the country, thank you. I love you. En aan my familie, wat ook al gebeur en gebeur het, wat ook al tussen ons gebeur het, ek weet mama wil hê, ek moet vandag vir julle sê, ek is lief vir julle. Baie dankie. Nou moet ek 'n paar aankondigings maak aan die einde, soos wat ons nou by die einde gekom het. Is daar eetgoedjies hier agter, vir die saaltjie langsaan, dis 'n saaltjie waar daar ook 'n swembad is gedek met 'n plastiek, maar wees versigtig, moenie in die swembad val. Ons wil graag hê dat julle met ons moet deel. Ons wil graag hê dat julle saam met ons ook moet verkeer. En dat ons mama se lewe kan vier en die liefde van haar lewe. Baie dankie. en mag God julle almal seën. Mama, baie dankie. Dit was en is, soos Papa gesê het, baie mooi.